Kristen Jensen here with head cross-country coach Randy Hassenbank before the team heads to Ames, Iowa for NCAA Midwest Regionals on Friday. Coach, this is your biggest postseason meet to date. You're going to be racing against teams from 13 different conferences on Friday. Can you talk about your biggest competitors both on the men's and the women's side?
First of all, it's a good stat. I didn't know it was 13 conferences, but our goal is a top 10 finish on both sides. You know, both teams have crept up toward the top 10. I think the men may have moved up to 8th or 9th earlier this year. We faded a little bit toward the end of the regular season. The men rebounded and ran well at the conference meet, and the women had a solid conference meet, but I still feel like the women's team is getting better by the day, so I feel real excited about their chances out there. Men, we've got our guys, a few have been beat up, and they're, I think, closer to health, so you know, we've got a couple of guys up front that I'm really excited to see perform. Sam and Andy are really looking good in training, so I'm excited about that. And then on the women, our top three on the women have done a great job all year. They've been very consistent. Olivia's still coming on, so we're excited about it.
Now, obviously, automatic and at-large bids up for grabs at the meet this Friday. How does that affect your mentality heading into the weekend?
Well, the automatic bids for the teams, that's pretty steep. The top two only advance, and you know, you're talking about a region that historically has been very, very tough in NCAA men's and women's, and as many as 5 or 6 teams have come out of this region in the past. So, you know, I don't know that we're in a position yet to battle for one of those spots, but I do feel like Sam and Andy can run well as individuals up in there. And I would say that Sam would have to approach the top 10 to have a shot as an individual. Same thing on the women's. I think historically you'll see anywhere from 8 to 10 or 8 to 12. You got to be in the top 8, 10, or 12 people to have a shot as an individual. They don't take many, and so it's a very, very elite field, and it's a very, very fierce competition, and so we'll see.
Now, last question for you, Coach. Both teams broke into the regional rankings 2 weeks ago. What does that do for the morale of your team?
Well, I think they were a little disgusted that we fell out in the first place, and I think they feel like they still have a lot to prove, and our early season goals were top 10 finishes at the region and battle for conference titles. So, you know, whether or not we get there all the time, we set some pretty high standards and I think very reasonable goals for where we're at and very appropriate. So I feel good about the mentality. I think they're motivated and excited to be back in the rankings. You know, it's voted on by our peers, and so that means that our peers do recognize the quality of our program. So I think it's important.
Well, good luck on Friday.
Thank you.
I'm here with senior cross-country runner Megan Janousek. Megan, ever since MVC cross-country championships, the women's side has been talking about a rematch with the 8 Missouri Valley teams that will be at regionals this weekend. Why is that rematch so important to your team?
Because going into conference, I think we were still a little hesitant about what we could do, and then we ran well, and we saw that we can compete with them and we can beat these teams, and so now we have this like energy and this hunger to go out and even do better than we did 2 weeks ago.
Now, you had an impressive performance 2 weeks ago at conference championships with a all-conference performance. How are you looking to build off that this weekend?
My goal is to make top 25, because that's when you're classified as all region, but it's going to be tough, but that's my goal, and hopefully I can finish on top.
Well, good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
I'm here with senior cross-country runner Andy Fenske. Andy, what can you tell me about the men's team's mentality heading into regionals this weekend?
Well, we have a good confidence boost from the Missouri Valley Conference 2 weeks ago, so we're really excited going into the regional this weekend. We had a few guys a little banged up over the past few weekends just from the hard racing that we did, but we kind of like put that behind us. We trained just through it, kind of rested up, and it's going to be a really good experience. We have 3 freshmen on the lineup, and I'm really excited about that because the 10K is a completely different monster than the 8K race, so having that experience early on for them will be really beneficial. And we're just looking to do what we can do, hopefully do just as well as last year, which we placed 10th. We want to crack that, maybe just do a little bit better, and hopefully take it home, so that'd be really nice.
How does the 10K versus the 8K change your mentality as a team?
Oh, wow. So when you're running like the 8K race, you get through 5K and you're just like, okay, I'm feeling good. There's only a few more K to go. But in the 10K, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm only halfway there. And then the 10K at the Midwest region, we're competing with some of the best schools in the nation, with Oklahoma State, like Minnesota and whatnot. So having to face off against those schools kind of puts a lot added pressure, but it's also really exciting to be competing with them. And so the 10K, you just got to be patient with it, not go out too fast, and then make sure you have enough in you because it's a really, really long race.
I bet. Now let's talk about you for a minute. You had an extremely impressive performance at NBC Championships. You've been ranking in the conference honors. How has it felt the past 2 weeks to be honored by the conference so much?
Wow, it's like, I can't believe it, honestly. It's so rewarding, and it makes me have so much more confidence for this weekend. I mean, last year I wasn't even running. I was terribly sick at this time. So coming back from all of that, it's really made me feel like really confident, and I don't know, I'm just really excited to see like what I can do. So it's a really great honor. I'm really appreciative of it.
Well, good luck on Friday.
Thank you so much.
Go Ramblers.